Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. In this video, we are checking out the M3GAN Gashapon series from Takara Tomy Arts. So I picked this up from Hobby Link Japan. While the listing was for 6 different capsules, and I do like the capsule buying experience for the most part, there was no guarantee that I was going to get all 4 different versions of M3GAN, and so I ended up with several duplicates and only 3 of the 4 different versions. So let's take a closer look of the 3 different versions that I received from the M3GAN Gashapon series from Takara Tomy Arts. Let's talk about the worst of the 3 different figures that I received, which is the Chaser M3GAN. This does otherwise look pretty cool. You've got a creepy M3GAN, chasing somebody in that crawling position. But the design of this is really poor. I opened up the duplicate as well, and you can see how it's supposed to work. So on one side you've got the post, on the other side you've got a slot. There's a bit of a ridge in it, and these 2 things do not permanently stick together. Right there, I've just got it delicately standing together against that bubble. This thing will not otherwise stick unless you've got glue or tape or something to hold the 2 halves together. So that is a poor design, but otherwise it does look cool. It looks like M3GAN chasing after somebody, and we can take a look at the head sculpt, and that is a pretty good likeness of M3GAN. The build quality is just poor. So this particular figure is called AI Friend, or it's just a standing version of M3GAN. I think it looks really great. I love the sculpt work. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. It's the paint ops, particularly in the eyes, that are impressive. You've got that glassy kind of look, right? In terms of functionality or movement, there is not a lot here. This figure is constructed by putting the 2 halves together, and here you've got a much larger slot, and so that will allow it to stand upright. There is this extra piece that you do need to have in order for the figure to stand on its own. It will not otherwise stand by itself. The legs are just so where there's no bending at the knees or any kind of other positioning so that you can get it to maybe balance without that stand. In terms of movement, you've got moving arms, right, on both sides for sure. And then the head, I don't think it moves. I've tried moving it. And finally, let's get to the last of my 3, which is the Strange Dance M3GAN. This looks great. This is an impressive likeness of M3GAN while she's doing the creepy dance moves. How you put this together is there are little slots for putting in the arms, so I guess you could reposition it in different unpleasant and creepy ways. And there is a little ball that you stick here to the bottom half. You do need the little white stand in order for the figure to stand on its own. This figure you can get it to balance without it, but it is helpful to have the stand. I think the dance is among the most memorable parts, or probably the most memorable part of the first M3GAN movie. So I really love this one. It is a good likeness of M3GAN. It's certainly not perfect, but you look at it and it looks like M3GAN. You know that it's meant to be M3GAN. You can see that swirl in M3GAN's dress, right? So she is in movement, and that that stance is a little bit like kind of a fighting pose as well. I think it looks good. This one is the one that I wanted out of the different M3GAN figures. Just to give you a sense of scale, here are 2 figures next to a Marvel Legends figure. So it might be a little bit on the short side, right, to count as a Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe Classified or Star Wars Black Series type scale, but it could pass, right? It's pretty close, and I think it still looks pretty awesome on the shelf. So overall, I have a positive impression of the M3GAN Gashapon series from Takara, Tomy Arts. I do wish the Chaser figure was built better than what we've got, but the other two figures are quite neat, and the Strange Dance M3GAN is outstanding, and I think that one in particular will look great on your shelf. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to check out the trailer for M3GAN 2. This has been the Fanboy Cantina.